Good afternoon YouTube, it's Craig here from Eleman and Bushcraft. I wanted to have a little bit of a show and tell really of some of the fire lighting equipment that you can use when you're out bushcrafting. I think we all have our ways of lighting fire, whether it be potassium permanganate with a bit of sugar or glycerin, whether it's cotton wool with Vaseline. There's loads of different ways of lighting fires, whether it be bow drills, primitive ways of doing stuff, modern ways. Fire lighting is a vast expanse of knowledge, and there's loads of different ways of teaching and being taught how to light fires. So what I've got here in front of me is a vast arrangement of ways of lighting fire. Now, you don't have to have all of this stuff. It is practical to have a decent fire lighting kit when you go out. I normally use one of these little pouches, and I try and get as much stuff in as I possibly can, because it is good to have many ways of lighting fire, especially if you're caught out in the rain. Hypothermia is a killer, and the last thing that you want is to sort of be lost in the middle of nowhere, pouring down with rain. You have everything that you need to survive, but no way to light the fire. And unfortunately, it can happen where people get severe hypothermia and die because they don't have the knowledge and the experience of being able to light a fire. And that's one of the things when I set up this YouTube channel, was to give people an opportunity to learn, have an understanding of bushcraft and other ways of doing things. Now, I'm not the best in the world. I'm not going to go around telling that, you know, you should follow me, do this, do that, the other, because I listen to a lot of other people and get a lot of advice from other people on YouTube. Mr. Mo from Stick Survival, Coalcracker Bushcraft, Kit Bash Survival. There's loads of people out there who do different and have different ways of showing you how to do survival kits and fire kits and camping. And I just do my way, and my way works for me. Some of the people that I've taught in the past, it works for them. It may not work for you, I don't know. We all have different levels of learning. I'm a very practical person. I like to show people what to do, instead of giving them loads and loads of paperwork to do, because I just, you know, people lose the understanding sometimes, and that's something that I didn't want. I never want that to happen. I've got a lot of books that I can read, and I draw from my information from them. But what I have in front of me is an arrangement of equipment that you can use to help light a fire when you're out in the middle of nowhere. It's not exhaustive, I don't think, because there's many more that I'm going to show you here. I'm going to show you a handful in the grand scheme of things. So I'll turn the camera around and we'll have a little talk on each bit of the equipment that's here. And if there's anything you would add or take away, or there might be stuff in here that doesn't work for you, that's okay. This is just my way of showing you how it works for me. Please like and subscribe and share this video and other videos that I do. And if anyone is on the Isle of Man and you want to know a little bit about bushcraft, you want to do a day course or something, I don't charge for it. It's free. You are more than welcome to get in touch with me, and I will show you what I know, which is, if you think of bushcraft, you know, I know enough to get by for me and for other people, and I've done a few courses for people and they've got a lot out of it. So feel free to contact me. So let's have a look at see what we've got here. I'm just going to pause the camera and then I'll edit it all and then put it all together so you can see. So as you can see from what's in front of me here, there's a vast amount of equipment that you can use to get a fire going when you're out in the middle of nowhere. We can start from the very basic, which is a bit of cotton wool, and we can always put petroleum jelly or candle wax on that, or Vaseline or lip salve, you know, the stuff you put on your lips. That just extends this. Instead of it burning for about 30 seconds, it'll burn for about 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. And I think everyone knows how to make petroleum jelly. fire starters with cotton wool. They are good, they're practical, and they're cheap. Okay. So I have here this is made, it's like, I don't know, the stuff you get out your tumble dryer, you know, all your dust and all the bits of cloth and everything put together. It's made by a company called ProCamp Tech. I've got a few of their fire starters, and this is brilliant. It will start when it's soaking wet. They're just really good. It's really good material, and someone said to me when I showed them this, it looks like drugs in a bag, but it's not. Honestly, it's just fire lighting material. This is very, very good to get a fire going. You know, take quite a quarter of it, put it in, and you can set fire with your matches. It'll take a ferro rod or a match. It's very good, and I just kept it in this little plastic bag. It actually comes in a big, massive sealable bag. There's loads of it, but I've just put a little bit in this bag here. Fatwood. Now this is nature's fire, this fire lighter. You get this from fallen pine trees at the base, or when there's big branches that are at the base of a fallen tree. There's loads of fire just in that stick there. You know, you can cut it up into little shards like this, or you can get the back of your knife and sort of like grate it. It lights very quickly. It smells very nice when you shave it. It's a pity you couldn't smell this, because it's a beautiful smell. It smells like turpentine. But you can buy this, or you can go out harvesting it yourself from fallen pine trees. And as you can see, I've got a couple of bits there and a couple of little shards. This is Fire Card. I've had these for quite a while now. It's coated with the same stuff that they make hexamine blocks with. It comes in like big, massive quarter A4 sheets. If you imagine an A4 sheet cut in quarters lengthways, you get about 8 sheets in it. It's really good. I've got some of this left, but I've just cut it up into little shards. It will light with a match, or if you scrape it with your knife, you can actually fluff it up a little bit, and it will take the spark of a ferro rod, and it will get going. Trusted old good lighter. This is a refillable lighter. It still works, this lighter. I've had it for a while. I've just put a clip on it just to prevent it from being pushed when it's in the bag and all the gas depleting from it, and I put some Gorilla Tape around it as well. It's always good to have a couple of lighters. Use them as the last resort if you can, but get a couple of them and stick them in your kits. They're worthwhile. These are fire plugs from ProCamp Tech as well. As you can see, I've just opened up this one because it's in a tin that I have. These are fantastic. They light very quickly with a spark. Let me show you. I've got one. I'll use this little sparker that I have here just to show you. Let me see. I'm just going to put this on here just so I can show you how quick it burns, how easy it burns. So as you can see, this is fluffed up, and I just get this little spark wheel and make a liar out of me now, isn't it? Fluff it up a little bit. Yeah, there you go. There you go. You can blow it out and use it again. So very good to getting the fire going. It's got like a resin in it. And while I'm on it, I've got one of these little spark lights. They're very good. They come in this little waterproof container, and they come with little tinder quicks as well. It's good to have one of these, especially one-handed fire lighting. So as you can see, I've got a few of them, and I've also got a little small bit of a candle in here as well in a little bag. Ranger bands or inner tuber bikes. I use it to seal the kit in, but in that little tin, which I'll show you in a minute. This burns very well. I've got some of it in shards up there somewhere. The only thing is, if you inhale this, it will make you feel ill, so be careful, but it is good fire starter. There's some more of those Tinder Quicks. I have an Ebenluber fire lighter. So this is jute twine in candle wax and Vaseline, and all you need to do is, if you like the end of it, fluff it out. You can light your fire with it, and it's got a little metal container that you can pull it through, and that will extinguish the flame, and you get about 50 fires out of that. And then just keep the tube, and then just make some more of this with jute twine. I have a dough and bar with a bit of a ferro rod on it. This works really well. As you can see, I have used it. What I do have on the side over here is a container of magnesium shavings. This burns really well. Put about a penny's worth on some kindling, set a spark to it, and it will go up like the clappers. It's brilliant. Okay. I have some duct tape on a credit card in a plastic bag, and I also have a magnesium pencil sharpener, so I can get shavings from little sticks of wood, and if I need to, I can scrape this and then it will start a fire. Just some normal jute twine in a bag. There's nothing being added to it, but you can take this apart and shred it all up, and it will catch a spark with the ferro rod, which I'll show you in a minute. This is a really decent magnifying glass. Now I see people try and find binoculars and take one of the lenses out of binoculars. This was £2.50 from a wildlife shop, and it does work. And what I've got is a little bag that I just keep it in, and I can use this little bag if I need to make char cloth. I've got some steel wool in a little bag, steel wool and a candle, or even a spark, not a candle, a battery, and even with a spark from the ferro rod it will light, and you can get a fire going with that. Make a bird's nest. I've got Yuko matches in this little container, and some extra strikers in there. They're very good to have. And I've also got one of these little waterproof containers. And then what I've done in here is, I think I've got some big Yuko matches and some normal matches and a striker in there. The other thing is, good thing about this, I've put some duct tape around it, and I've also got a little ferro rod under the base of it. The fire bellows, I think most of you know what that's for. It's not a car aerial. It's, if you extend it and blow through it, you can get, or you can place it at the base of the fire and blow into it. And if you've got embers on a piece of wood from the night before, when your fire's gone out and you've got some kindling to get it going, this will spark the fire into existence again. Very good to have. They're only cheap, they're about £2. Don't buy them for about 15 quid. They're not worth it, but they are good things to have. Wet fire, I've got loads of wet fire. People have given me loads of this stuff. It does work, it's good. I've had these for a while, as it says, you know. Scrape some of it off, and again, use your ferro rod and it'll spark into flames. It's waterproof as well, so it does light on water. I have a bigger candle here. This one's in a sealed bag. It came with a kit that was spare, so I've just left that and I put it in the fire kit. It's good to have a little candle. Potassium permanganate. If you've got some sugar or some glycerin, if you've got some cough medicine, because it's sugar, that will burst into flames, and very good to have. Some of this stuff, the potassium permanganate and the shavings, came from a company called the Bath Bushcraft store, same as these fire sticks and the fire rope that's there, and this the packet of hemp, whatever it is. And but I can't seem to get in touch with them anymore. So if anyone knows what's going on with them, please can you let me know, because I'd like to buy some more stuff from them. Now, I bought a couple of Sokoa fire survival kits from America, and I've just taken this out of the tin. It's a bigger version of the wet fire. They're really big cubes. I've not tried it because I only got the one, but I believe they're exactly the same. Here is the ProCamp Tech fat rope. This is brilliant stuff. This, you can get tons of fires out of this. Again, it's been impregnated with some stuff. I've got a couple of bars of this. It's really good to have. I've got a Strike Force fire steel. Let me just show you. I just put this down for a sec. These are brilliant. They are fantastic fire steels, I think. It's nice and chunky. It's got really good fire steel, as you can see. Sets off for shower sparks. The good thing about this, that on the inside it's got a little cap with it, and all I've done is you can put one of these wet fires in it, but I've put some of these sort of like tinder quicks in it. So there's about 8 fires worth there, and I've also got paracord on it as well, so I can burn paracord. The last thing that I've got in my kit is this little tin. Now, as you can see, there's a nice bit of flint here, and there's also a nice fire steel. Now, the good thing about these SE fire steels, or any fire steel, it's got a bow drill divot there, so I can make bow drills out of it. I can strike a ferro rod with it, which I have a little ferro rod in the tin, but it also strikes the flint. Now, a lot of people, when they get these, they struggle with it. Now, the best way to do it is turn it slightly to the side when you're striking, and you can see the sparks coming out of it. Now, what you can do with all of this kit, as I said, is put it in a little pouch and have a dedicated fire kit. It's a lot to have, I know, but it's worth it. If you're stuck in the middle of nowhere when you're camping, or it just starts raining, which does happen when some of us go out camping, we need to get a fire going. Hypothermia is a killer. The good thing about these candles, if you've got a foil blanket, if you wrap it around yourself and light that candle and stick it in the center of, or in between your legs on the floor with the foil blanket around you, this will put a lot of heat into that foil blanket, and it will heat you up. Try and get a couple of candles in your kit. I've used all of this kit and it does work for me. Again, if there's anything you would add, anything you take away, anything that doesn't work for you, please let me know. This is Craig from Ellen Van and Bushcraft. I hope you've enjoyed this little video. I am going to do some other videos with some other kits, and hopefully at the end of this week, or if not the beginning of next, I have ordered a SE mess tin survival kit, the proper one, which is coming all the way from the States, and I'll do a little video on that. Thanks a lot for your time. Please like, share and subscribe, and if there's anything I can answer, any questions that you have, please get in touch with me and I'll do my best to answer them. This is Craig signing out from Ellen Van and Bushcraft.